They didn't just act, they outdanced the camera. Hips that told the story, feet that wouldn't take no for an answer. Some trained in secret, some learned under hot lights with blisters and pride. What they shared, rhythm with a spine tonight. 15 leading men who moved so well, the soundtrack had to keep up. A disco king who refused body doubles. A tough guy tapper who could outsnap a metronome. A ballet comet who made jump cuts feel slow. Miss one, and you'll miss the name that rewired Saturday nights. Lock your guess for number 1, and don't blink. The reveal you're sure about isn't the one that sticks. Ready? Hold your pick. And let's roll. Number 15, Bobby Van, the hopping dynamo. He didn't just dance, he bounced through it. In the 50s, Bobby Van turned light feet into a signature, the famous hopping tour de force that looked cheerful and cruel on the calves at the same time. What sells it isn't the trick, it's the musical math. He lands every hop like a syllable, never gasping, never losing the phrase. Handsome, buoyant, built for camera close-ups, he made difficult read as delightful. A cheat only the pros can pull off. Watch the finishes. Soft knees, bright eyes, no wobble. That's craft wearing a smile. If buoyancy made tap feel weightless, then sharp lines made jazz look dangerous. The next name carved them like a blade. Number 14, George Chakiris, razor jazz that cut through the frame. Elegance with an edge. George Chakiris didn't just hit positions. He clicked into them with a predator's stillness, then knifed forward on the next 8. Jazz arms clean, turnout true, torso quiet. That's why the camera loved him. You can feel the rehearsal hours in the control. No extra flourishes, no wasted breath. Just the line, the step, the stare. Handsome and cool, he carried leading man presence, even when the choreography asked for the pack. It's the kind of precision that turns group numbers into his number. If precision is the knife, then showmanship is the spotlight. Enter a Broadway live wire who switched the room on. Number 13, Ben Vereen. Broadway electricity, laser-sharp feet. He didn't walk on stage. He switched it on. In the 70s, Ben Vereen made choreography look like a live wire. Clean isolations. Story in every shoulder. Timing you could set a watch to. Pippin turned him into a household name, but the real trick was how he blended show tap with jazz, so tight you forgot where one ended and the other began. Watch the finishes. Toes land, eyes land, audience lands a half second later. That's control. That's star power. Off stage, he treated rehearsal like church. No coasting, no good enough. You feel it in the way he sells the last 8 counts as hard as the first 8. Handsome, slick, impossible to ignore. He made leading man and lead dancer the same job title. If showmanship is the spark, then acrobatics is the flame. And the next name made flips feel like punctuation. Number 12, Russ Tamblyn. Acrobatics that still hit on the one. He moved like a gymnast who spoke fluent music. Russ Tamblyn's secret wasn't the flip. It was where he landed it in the bar of music. Aerials that lock to the downbeat. Soft knees that rebound into tap-clean footwork. And a grin that tells you he's still got gas in the tank. He sold athleticism without losing phrasing. The exact balance that makes replay buttons wear out. Boyish looks, easy charm, fearless center. He kept big tricks inside the story instead of stealing from it. If aerials can thrill, then discipline can surprise. The next leading man laced up tap shoes and refused to fake a single step. Number 11, Richard Gere, leading man, real tap. He wasn't supposed to have it, and then he did. Before the headlines and glossy roles, Gere put in quiet stage hours that taught him how to sell a rhythm, not just a close-up. That's why, when the world finally saw him tap, it didn't feel like a stunt. It felt earned. The frame loved the posture, shoulders relaxed, chin steady, feet talking in clean paragraphs. He understood something too many stars skip. Tap is story. You can hear the setup, the turn, the punchline, and with Gere, the punchline always lands. Handsome in that cool, unhurried way, he carried musical phrasing like dialogue, letting the beats shape the character instead of wallpapering over it. No panic, no flailing, just steps that say, I did the work. If discipline sells the step, then conversation sells the rhythm. The next pick made tap speak. Number 10, Gregory Hines, the tap voice. You could hear without music. He didn't just hit steps, he held a conversation. Late 70s, New York clubs knew the sound. Heel drops like punctuation, riffs that chased the sax, then outran it. On Broadway's Eubie, 1978, Hines made tap feel newly dangerous. Loose shoulders, relaxed grin, feet like fast talk. He could flirt with the downbeat, then land on it like a verdict. Handsome, cool, never sweaty. He sold rhythm the way great actors sell lines, easy, then razor exact. Watch the pauses. He let silence lean in, then answers with a shuffle so clean, the audience laughs first, claps second. With Brother Maurice, he stretched tap toward jazz improvisation. Each night could change, but the authority never did. That's why critics called it musical, not just dance, because the band adjusted to him. Pre-1980, Hines is already the guy other hoofers study in the wings, asking how he made the floor sound like an instrument and a stage at the same time. If tap can talk, then comedy can keep up. The next star makes jokes land on the beat. Number 9, Danny Kaye. Comic velocity, musical aim. Words at 90 miles an hour, feet that never missed. Danny Kaye's trick was alignment. The phrasing in his patter matched the phrasing in his steps. He could turn a tongue twister into a tap break, then slide into ballroom with a wink and perfect frame. Handsome, mischievous, and relentlessly musical, he sold joy without sloppiness, every joke landing on the beat, not near it. That's why the number still read crisp. He understood that comedy is just rhythm wearing a grin. If speed stays sharp, then elasticity steals the frame. The next icon turns rubber into rhythm. Number 8, Ray Bolger. Rubber-limbed rhythm, iron timing. No bones! That's the joke. The truth is timing made it work. Ray Bolger's rubbery ease came from absolute control. Knees talking, ankles whispering, feet spelling out punchlines your ears could hear. He could melt through a doorway, reassemble on the beat, and float a soft shoe like it weighed nothing. Handsome in that kind, classic way, he turned physical comedy into musical conversation. You don't forget the silhouette, because the rhythm draws it for you, one clean count at a time. If elasticity makes you smile, then velocity makes you cheer. The next leading man carried both in one body. Number 7, Donald O'Connor. Acrobat feet. Comedian timing. He made hard look happy. In Singin' in the Rain, Make 'em Laugh wasn't just a gag reel. It was a demolition derby of talent. Wall runs, tumbles, and tap, as crisp as a snare. The secret wasn't the flips, it was the timing. He'd toss a grin a half beat early, then land a triple riff dead center, so your laugh arrived right on the downbeat. That blend of acrobatics and exact footwork turned a comic into a dance athlete, and a supporting role into a scene you still show the grandkids. Handsome in that easy, boyish way, he proved charm could power technique, not hide it. Watch the breath control, never frantic, always musical. That's why the routine still feels modern. It moves like a joke told by a metronome. If acrobatics made tap sparkle, then toughness can dance. Watch a gangster lead with his feet. Number 6, James Cagney. Tough guy, tap fuse. He could snarl on Wednesday and soft shoe on Thursday. Yankee Doodle Dandy didn't just reveal a new side. It reminded old vaudeville hands who he really was. A hoofer first, gangster second. Watch the stance. Slight crouch. Boxers, shoulders, feet firing staccato like jabs. The speed is real, the accent's clean. The upper body locked into that Cagney snap. He sells character through rhythm. No syrup, no wobble, just grit that glides. Handsome the hard way, he made patriot anthems feel like street corner percussion, flipping from swagger to precision without losing a breath. That's why the routines still hit. They look like a fighter deciding to dance and winning the round. If grit can glide, then rhythm can charm. Meet the Rat Pack Dynamo, whose feet were the horn section. Number 5, Sammy Davis Jr. Rat Pack rhythm, tap like a trumpet. He didn't need a band to swing. His feet were the horn section. Sammy Davis Jr. treated tap like jazz. Riffs, breaks, sly quotes you'd swear you heard on a Miles record. One second, he's snapping a lyric into place. The next, he's trading fours with his own shoes. That's the trick. Voice, timing, and footwork all in the same pocket. On Sweet Charity and endless 60s to 70s TV spots, he'd slide from patter to percussion and back again, selling it with that impossible grin. Handsome, razor-groomed, he moved like confidence in a tux. Listen for the micro pauses. He hangs the beat, just long enough to make the neck shuffle feel like a punchline. Pre-1980. He's already a tap diplomat, crossing rooms and radio dials, proving rhythm can charm any crowd. Technically clean, musically fearless, he turned the floor into an instrument, and himself into the solo. If rhythm can flirt and fight, then ballet can fly. Enter a phenom who made jumps hang in the air. Number 4, Mikhail Baryshnikov. Ballet power, movie star voltage. He didn't float, he launched. In The Turning Point, 1977, Baryshnikov hit the screen like a thunderclap. Jumps that hung, landings that whispered, lines so clean you could trace them with a ruler. Classical to the core, yes, but never cold. The attack had heat. He'd carve a diagonal, stop on a dime, and look like he had another gear in reserve. Audiences who thought ballet was delicate watched a man weaponize grace. Critics chased vocabulary. Regular folks just said, "How is that even possible?" Handsome, poised, camera-ready, he proved a male dancer could be both athlete and matinee idol, the rare mix that made TV specials feel like events. Pre-1980, he turned technique into charisma. No apology, no translation, just impact. If ballet gave us flight, then swagger sold the era. The next name didn't just dance the moment, he defined it. Number 3, John Travolta. Disco crown, no doubles. He didn't inherit the dance floor, he earned it. Before the suit turned white and the finger hit the ceiling, Travolta trained like a prize fighter. Hours of drills, no body doubles, every line his. In Saturday Night Fever, the walk to the club is choreography already. Hips under control, shoulders calm, feet landing like decisions. By Grease, he's switching gears without dropping the clutch. Partner work that reads confident. Musical breaks that never beg for applause. Handsome and camera-sure, he sells masculine grace without apology. Tight turns, clean stops, and that stare that keeps the beat from blinking. What people forget is the quiet math. He places weight with surgeon accuracy, then lets the upper body tell the story. That's why the moves still read as cool, not costume. If disco crowned a king, then romance needed a lift. Enter a Texas-born leading man with ballet bones and screen-stealing heart. Number 2, Patrick Swayze. Ballet bones, cowboy heart. Before the world learned his name, the posture gave him away. Shoulders set, chin steady, steps that said, "I trained for this." Raised by a choreographer mother, Swayze mixed bar discipline with Texas grit, partnering that felt safe and fearless at the same time. Pre-1980, he's already clocked Broadway's Grease, 1979, and The Roller Rhythm of Skate-Town, USA, 1979. Watch how he lifts. No strain on the face, all strength in the frame. That's ballet carriage in street clothes. He could turn clean without shrinking, travel big without showboating, and keep the storytelling honest. Eyes first, then feet. Handsome and athletic, he sold romance without syrup, connection in the handhold, certainty in the placement, a finish that lands like a promise. The secret wasn't a trick, it was cross-training. Ballet, jazz, gymnastics, so the camera never caught a weak angle. You felt it in the way he hit a beat, and then filled it, leaving just enough air for the music to glow. That's why later roles looked inevitable. The groundwork was already poured. If heart and strength can share one spotlight, then perfection can still feel human. Exactly what our number 1 proved when he made the camera learn to dance beside him. Number 1, Gene Kelly. Athletic grace, camera pioneer. He didn't wait for the lens to find him. He made it move. Gene Kelly took dance out of the proscenium and onto the street, into the rain, around lamp posts and living rooms. Low center of gravity, big traveling steps, turns like decisions. He sold strength without losing charm. In On the Town, An American in Paris, and St. John in the Rain, he fused muscle with melody. Everyday props became partners, sidewalks became stages, and the camera finally kept pace with a dancer instead of trapping him in a box. Handsome, athletic, unmistakably American, he made footwork look like conversation, clear, confident, and flirtatious when it needed to be. Here's the quiet genius. He fought for full body takes, so you could trust what you saw. No cheat angles, no mystery edits. Just honest technique that aged like a standard. Watch the weight placement. Heels whisper, toes declare, shoulders stay easy. That's why the numbers still feel modern. They're engineered to read in real time, not just in memory. Kelly didn't just headline scenes. He designed them, proving that choreography and cinematography could meet in the middle and make movie magic feel inevitable. If he wrote the blueprint for masculine grace on film, then the only real question is whose performance lives in your head rent-free, because that's where we're heading next. Some dancers impress you once. These men don't wear off. They gave rhythm a backbone, tap that talks, ballet that flies, showmanship that never begs. Decades later, your body still remembers where the beat lands. If technique is muscle, memory is the echo. And that's why their numbers keep playing in our heads long after the credits. If you had to keep one routine forever, which one is yours? And why? Drop it below. If you're thinking, you skipped my favorite, then you know what comes next. Outtakes, lost clips, and a few names that nearly cracked this list. If you want that deep dive, say the word. And if we did a follow-up, men who weren't supposed to dance but did it anyway, would your pick make the cut? Hit subscribe so you don't miss it.